Yeah, so that's the way it stayed?
Yeah. Yep. As of this morning.
Beautiful.
Was today the last day?
Everybody's on a post.
Today.
I got congratulations text messages to your entire
I saw the
team,
pictures.
besides for the judge.
She looked good. They look good.
That means you guys did a good stand by it.
You know, I helped them.
Our entire,
Oh,
everybody.
that's what I
I was
thought
wondering
too.
why they never
Very
invited
good.
me back. I like
Yeah,
to
Or nobody wants to go.
I'm going, but nobody wants to go.
Everybody sees it all going now, they're like,
Maybe.
oh.
Let's say a little of both.
Because that's who got me wrapped up. There was one year he asked me if I would help out
Got
too.
their,
Yeah.
Nobody wants to
their
go.
signatures and everything else.
Everything, it's on, we're live.
Okay.
No,
Alright, be it.
Yes. You want me to get that voice?
that's okay.
Yeah. I'd like to call this finance and legislation meeting to order. Mr. Bass. I'm here. Mr. Ballack. Here. Mr. Bigley is here. We got one piece tonight, but I think we will let our new engineering firm go first.
So, hi, my name is Ed Lasowski. I work for an environmental design group. I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio, went to YSU, worked for the city of Youngstown as an engineer for 7 years before I went out to the private world. I used to work construction, doing pavement and asphalt work. I work for a company that sold fibers that we put in your asphalt here in the city. I will be the point of contact for the mayor and for Bob. So they call us principal in charge, but basically we have 14 different client service groups in our company. So when you guys have an issue, you need help, she's gonna call me, hey, where do I need help? And I will pick out one of our experts that we have with us and just kind of pass that along to them, and then we will work through that. But I will be the one who will be answering to the mayor and to Bob, and then bringing in people like Jennifer and Renee, and to help you guys do whatever you need done. And so we have almost 100 people in our company. We're 43 to 47% women in our company. We're based out of Akron, Ohio. We have an office here, a field office here in Youngstown. We have an office in Cleveland. We have an office in Columbus, and we just have a new one in.
Struthers.
Yeah, Struthers. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of the town. It's
Newark.
Newark, yeah, Newark.
We do have buildings if you want to.
Yeah, right. So, we've been doing this since like 1983. When I worked for the city of Youngstown, we actually used EDG. They were called Floyd Brown at that time. They did a lot of our sewers. They did a lot of stuff here. One of the guys that works for us just retired, actually worked on your wastewater treatment plant. So even though we're kind of like new to the area, we've been here a long time. I'm a lifelong resident of Youngstown. I'm going to St. Anthony's tonight to play bocce. I play pool there every Thursday night, right? Are you? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to watch tonight, but because my good friend, who's the city engineer of Youngstown, when I used to work there, now he's the city engineer. He's playing tonight against Dominic Monterelli's team from the ITAM. So, and I play on Dom's team with the ITAM. So, we're going to go there tonight. And we're going to do that. So I'm always here, we're always around. I like being in Struthers. La Villa salad, I've been eating this since I was like 17. I could choose Italian salad. So, I love your community. I like being around here. So, like I said, as the point person, I already know some of the issues you guys have. We talked about. Renee here works in our transportation department. She's the one that did your safety study, and she's applying for your grant. So to get you the $3 million or whatever it is to redo downtown. So I will let Renee.
Nice job.
Haven't got it yet. Bob's little project.
So I'll let Renee take it from here.
Like he said, I'm a transportation engineer, focus in safety. My favorite thing is to help people get to where they're going alive in one piece, whether they're walking, biking, or taking a car. So I spend a lot of my time doing that. I'm a project manager at the company. We asked for almost $2 million for your downtown area, which would involve a road diet, but not really a reduction of lanes, pedestrian infrastructure, bike infrastructure, ADA compliance type things, better signals so that people will see them and stop running red lights, all that, and even some interconnect so that everything can stop for the train and then get going smoothly rather than just like sort of the mess that happens when they're trying to clean up after that. So these are fixable problems, and I'm happy to work on more.
Very good.
Jennifer?
Good evening, my name is Jennifer Six. I work with EDG and our clients on strategic initiatives that include homelessness, zoning, some planning efforts, tax increment financing. So basically, whatever the mayor or council would need on a special project, we'd be able to assist and advise.
She did take a picture of your zoning map, so we have
Oh,
that.
thing
as
was
well.
That's just been updated.
That should be in the historical society.
Yeah.
When 1987.
Yeah, it needs updated.
So in 2 weeks, we're gonna bring 2 more people, which would be Dave McAllips, who does the stuff with your wastewater plant, and Chris Canodal, who will help with the resurfacing inspection and the bridge inspection and stuff like that. So, you know, like I said, we're a full service company. We do everything that everybody here does. You know, we do all the transportation, we do the plan, we do environmental, we do ecological, we do zoning, we do planning, surveying, the construction inspection services. It's just, there's 14 of them. I think I maybe hit like 11. So,
And you guys help find finance resources for the projects as well.
yeah, so we have the queen of that, Renee
Just for
here.
the safety.
For safety, she got 12% of all the funds in Ohio 2 years ago that were given out for safety funds. She got 12% of that.
Wow.
She's one of the 3 engineers in Ohio that ODOT uses to do their safety inspection programs. We've gotten over $32 million worth of grants for people, our customers, in the last 7 years. So we have people, like my hobby is golfing and bocce and playing pool, right? Well, we have the people that go home and their hobby is their job, right? So I get calls at 9 o'clock at night, and Catherine's going, hey, do you have anybody in these 5 counties that are having repetitive issues because FEMA's got a new grant? Find me somebody that I can give some money to, right? And she got City of Youngstown $183,000 because the slope failed on Oak Street Extension, which is a budding 422. So she calls me up, she goes, any state route collapse, anything you got? And I said, no. And then 2 weeks later, FEMA changed it. Now it's like any road abutting. I go, I got one. So the city was on the hook for $310,000, and Catherine got them 183 of that, right? Just like in it. So we love to get grants. We love to pack grants on top of each other, like we know how to stack them. Right, so there was a bike trail in Dover that went through that actually the city got paid $5,000 to put in a 1.5 mile bike trail because there was 3 grants and they had $5,000 left over, and they bought some amenities, you know, push-up racks or whatever they got. So yeah, we do a lot of that. We call ourselves a community impact people because we actually care about the communities that we're in. We spend a lot of time studying before the COVID came, like the great pandemic. Well, we studied all these technological disruptions. We came up with 5 different platforms that we were working on. It was like Happy Healthy Places, which was parks and stuff like that. Living Streets is where you can walk down the street and your phone tells you, here's a historical building. This bar has specials today. And so we do a lot of that stuff. We're really highly advanced at that, and we're looking 20, 30 years ahead because, you know, we're going to have autonomous vehicles, and we're going to have all this medical stuff that we're going to live to be 150 instead of 100, right? So what do we do when we can't drive when we're 100? We're going to take our autonomous car, go to a park, right? We have landscape architecture place. We're one of the best park people in the country. Our campgrounds goes all over the country. Bike trails, we have 733 miles of bike trails designed in Ohio, right? That's going across the turnpike 30 times, right? So we have amazing people that work for us. I came to work for us 4 years ago because of all the consultants that I dealt with. These people are great, right? So that's why I brought them here, and that's why I wanted her to come see us, and I made you come see us in Akron today, right? that you did. So we're very happy to work for you. I'm very excited to work for you.
Sounds great. We love getting grants.
Yeah, who doesn't, right?
Sounds like this is going to work out perfect.
Brings us.
We love getting money.
Oh yeah, everybody loves
There it
their
is.
money. So.
In the past, we've been kind of short on different things as far as applying for grants, and it's basically came down to they didn't have anybody to do it.
Right, yeah, it's very difficult.
It's nice
right?
to have people able to do that and go after the different things and stacking them like you said.
Right. And we don't just have like a group of grant writers. Every single person that works for us is always looking for grants and looking at it because, you know, we get you the grant, then we get the design work, right? So it helps us as well. You know, you're the great end user because, you know, and as engineers, my kids hate it. Everything I drive by, I'm like, oh, you know, that Wetmore, that was mine. I paid for that, right? That's my bridge, you know. And I sold a lot of bridges in Akron. I sold 7 of them, every one that you go on Canal, right? So that's the way we are, right? So when we drive around here, the engineers, our stuff stays here for a long time, right? So we're very passionate about it because our kids and our grandkids and your grandkids are going to see what we did, right? So that's about us. So we thank you very much for choosing us. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate that.
And I want to thank you guys for showing back up because we didn't scare you last meeting we had. We were supposed to meet with them, it was probably about an hour. We were there for what, 2.5 hours? So they saw all our crazy things that we have going on in the city, met with Guy with the wastewater department and Christy and everybody. So we had a pretty extensive conversation. So they're aware of our personalities, what we want for the city, and how aggressive we want to be with things. And I think they matched us pretty well.
And
Sounds
Dave,
like it.
Dave and
Yeah.
George already went with a guy and had like a 6-hour tour of the wastewater plant. So
So I didn't even know that.
yeah, they did. Yeah, so good stuff. Okay, thank you guys.
Sounds
Thanks
good.
for coming down.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
So now we go to St. Anthony's.
Enjoy your night.
The wedding pizza.
What's that?
The wedding soup
I haven't
pizza.
done it yet. I think we might.
What time does it start?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, that's right.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
I thought it was 7:30.
Let's see you guys
Thanks for
down
coming.
there.
Have a good one.
Oh yeah, we love the Briar Hill people. My mom, she's 77. She plays pool. She's a former national champion, and she makes me go play there every Thursday. And she orders Briar Hill pizza and pepperoni pizza every time. Great. We'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Mayor, did you want to speak?
Oh, yes, thank you. I just wanted to give a little bit of an update. We're not quite there yet, but we talked with Phil Purrier. They're gonna be setting up meetings to release the applications in the next few weeks. The release of funds is slated for February 24th. So as we get more information for that, we've already been, kind of collecting a list as people are calling in the last year and asking questions about the CHIP program, so we've been writing their names down so that we can call them when it comes back up. So if you know anybody, as soon as we get the information, we'll get it out to everybody.
Okay, Mayor, that's it for that. All right, we got one piece of legislation I'm gonna go into, and this is a resolution confirming that the mayor and the auditor of the city of Struthers shall serve on the Mahoning County Tax Incentive Review Council for 2023 and declaring an emergency. Mayor, Chrissy, you wanna speak at all?
This is just a renewal of a resolution that is required for Kat and I to participate in the tax incentive review meeting.
Okay, motion to bring it out?
I'll make a motion to bring that up.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Anybody else, anything for this committee?
I have a little something.
All right, let's hear it.
I guess it's just something general. So I know, let's see, this month I have been here 28 years. 23
You
of
started when you
them,
were like 7?
I did. 23 of them in the auditor's office. I've been your auditor for about 10 years. So the question of should the city follow a gap method of accounting or not has come up over the years with every administration, the 2 previous auditors that I served with, in this council and other councils before you. So I just want to have a conversation, just to be clear that the city still uses the cash basis of accounting. We do not use a GAAP basis of accounting. At this time, I don't think that there is a need to switch to a GAAP basis of accounting. It was brought to my attention that perhaps the city, this should be something that the city is doing. It is my opinion that at this time we don't need to be doing it. There's no benefit to gain right now. It would be very cost prohibitive. I guess I just wanted to bring this back to council again for, I don't know, probably what is the 10th time, to have a conversation to say, has anybody's feelings changed? Does anybody have any questions, concerns,
Well, I know.
comments about this matter?
I know in the past, we needed to be GAAP compliant to be eligible for certain grants and certain funding.
I haven't,
That
we
really
have
hasn't
not
been the case.
come across anything that
But that was the excuse in the past for not.
we have
doing
been
so.
told.
We were definitely told that because I remember we
absolutely.
were working towards trying to become GAAP compliant when I first started.
Right.
And the main method behind that, or the main
And a lot
key
of that
point.
came from our past engineers.
Now, is that true, Chrissy? Do you know anything
I-
about that?
I
That would
know
put
that
us
we've
in.
never been turned down for anything we've applied for.
And that's been obvious.
Well, I think the thing was we weren't able to apply for certain ones,
I
not that we
don't
were.
know of anybody who come and said, we have this great opportunity, but you don't qualify. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
there's this, but you are going to be excluded because.
Is there any drawbacks to not being a GAP compliant or not using the GAP method?
I guess it would depend on in what circumstance you were asking. That's a very broad question.
Mhm.
I don't believe that in our current operations that there is a huge drawback for us not being
For the size of our city, this one's
using
just
GAAP
fine.
as the accounting
Yeah.
mechanism. I would also say that most people are actually now going to what is called IFRS, which is an international finance reporting standard. So I'm not quite sure if even GAAP is the,
It was
Yeah.
back when we were told it was quite expensive to change over to GAAP.
Yes, that's what I remember as well, and we were
I would
trying.
imagine that it still would be quite
But if you
expensive.
feel the benefits don't compare, then I don't see.
Well, and if you
reason to do
also
it.
feel like that most people are going with a different method, why would we go to GAP and then in a few years possibly switch to something else? Let's
Right.
just stay where we're, if that's good with you and that's
And
what you
I
want.
would say as well too, that if you do follow a GAAP or accrued method of accounting, you still need to have what is called cash flow statements, because you need to know what cash you have on hand, and that's what we're doing now. So we'd actually have to have both. So what cash basis actually is you recognize the revenue or the expense at the time that you are physically moving the cash around. Where the other method is like at the point that you create an invoice, that's when you record it. So for the purposes of how everyone is their business is being ran, no one's,
So
no
our-
one's gonna
our-
see a difference.
Our system's true to the dollar.
It's cash.
What happens if you create that invoice and the people don't pay you?
And that's what I.
You know what I mean? And
There's a lot
it
of
doesn't
things
seem like that would
they-
make very much sense.
Not too many people are paying us. You know what I mean? Except for the sewage plant. So it would be like when we order something, at the point of us ordering it, we absolutely put a requisition in the system, and that money is held. So in a roundabout way, you are booking it at the time that it's ordered, but it doesn't actually hit my book until we cut a check. But if you were to call me and be like, hey, what's on this budget line? Everything that everybody's ordered, even if it's not paid, is reflected, even an encumbrance there.
Okay.
So
it's still accounted for.
so accounted for. So this has been brought to my attention that someone feels like this is an issue. I don't think it's an issue. I'm okay with the way things are. I think right now to try to go to a gap would be a burden on the city that isn't warranted. The benefits do not outweigh.
Well, no matter what system you're on, you still get audited the same.
Yes, a report is created at the end of the year that is called I call it gap lookalike. Basically, they take your cash information, convert it into an auditable document that the state accepts, and they can audit you with it.
So we're kind of
Okay.
semi-gap.
So, but I just wanted to bring it up because it was brought up to me as a possible issue or problem. So I just wanted to make council aware of that, and that I am still not for doing this. If anybody had any
Don't fix what ain't
Uh-huh.
broken.
Yeah, I mean,
reasons, I'm open
Absolutely
to anybody's.
well, again, if there was some big drawback
You know,
to not
questions or
becoming, if there was
concerns
some
about
big
it.
drawback to not using GAP principles, then that
Well,
would be
I-
different,
I
but
know
as
in the
long as
past,
we
I've
don't.
pushed the issue on that because that was the reason we were told we weren't
Getting
getting grants.
grants.
But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
Chrissy, why would we care? If, other than the grants, why do we care what method is used? What would any of us in this room care?
I don't know.
Well,
Why would-
by
may I
law,
have
by
a-
law, we have to have a balanced budget.
think.
Well, yeah, I understand, but either way, what I'm saying is, none of us in here, Chrissy is our,
She controls it all.
Yeah.
correct, and if she feels comfortable doing this way, and we've never been in trouble with the way that she does it, and there is no drawback to the way that she does it, and the other way is gonna cost us more money, and it isn't gonna change anything
I
on
mean,
her
there
end,
is, in
then.
our yearly audit from the state, it is, they do say, you're not gap compliant, absolutely.
But we've been getting
But
that every year,
yeah.
every year.
But they're not saying you gotta be gap compliant either, correct?
They're saying.
They're just acknowledging the
it is
fact that we're not,
You should be and you're not.
but we're not in any type of danger
No
of
citations or anything.
being
I mean.
penalized or,
We are penalized $750 a year.
and what would it
For not
cost us to
being gap
become gap compliant? Or to use the gap principle, a lot more, correct?
Maybe, I'm thinking like upwards of $150,000
Annually or,
for the one-time conversion, and then I would think that I would need another staff member in my office.
okay, so we're cool with paying the $750 a year, right?
For
Yeah, we
for
can.
the next
I mean, that kinda
20
makes
years,
sense.
as long as I'm gonna be sitting here.
Yeah.
But I just, I think it's good to check in when
Mm-hmm.
things are being talked about with you guys to see if you're still, comfortable or had any questions or concerns about the way
I'm not,
my office is being ran.
I'm
I'm
not the
fine.
auditor, I leave that
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, you've been doing.
I'm
that
fine the
job
way it
you are.
is.
Okay, anybody has any questions
You're
or
doing a
anything
fine
further?
Yeah,
Nope, at any time, feel free to reach out to me.
we appreciate you, Chrissy.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you do a good job, even with all your statistical data.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, anybody else? Anything for finance and legislation? Going once? Going twice? Motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second that.
Meeting adjourned.
This is a question for you. At work, they said that in order for them to take Struthers taxes out, there's a code they need. Chris, do you know what the code is?
Could be 50,
Dinner time,
11.
everybody.
Is that 11?
I was down there.
I don't know, I'll ask them, I'll just.
So you guys
Okay?